Hi, this is Peter Zing from Transhumanism Australia. As part of the Sunday night reading series, I'll be reading out to you a book called Exponential Organizations by Salim Ismail. Let's start with the foreword by Peter Diamandis. Welcome to a time of exponential change, the most amazing time ever to be alive. In the pages that follow, Salim Ismail, my colleague, friend, and one of the leading thinkers and practitioners on the future of organizations, offers you a first look at what this new world will look like and how it will change the way you work and live. Salim has studied and interviewed CEOs and entrepreneurs whose companies are leveraging a newly available set of externalities and, as a result, scaling their organizations at many times the normal rate of typical companies. More important, he's thought deeply and analyzed how existing organizations need to adapt. For this reason, I can't think of a more perfect guide to those CEOs and executives interested in thriving during this time of disruptive change. Have no doubt, exponential organizations, while new organizations are 10 times better, faster, and cheaper, provides a roadmap and a survival guide for the CEO, the entrepreneur, and most of all, the executive of the future. Congratulations on the successes that you got to this point in your career, but let me forewarn you that those skills are already out of date. The concepts in this book and the conversations that they spark are the new lingua franca for anyone wanting to remain competitive and stay in the game. In today's corporate world, there is a new breed of institutional organism, the exponential organization, loose on earth, and if you don't understand it, prepare for it, and ultimately become it, it will be disrupted. The concept of the exponential organization, or EXCO, first arose at Singularity University, which I co-founded in 2008, with noted futurist author, entrepreneur turned AI director at Google, Ray Kurzweil. The goal was to create a new kind of university, one whose curriculum was constantly being updated. For that reason, SU was never accredited, not because we didn't care, but because the curriculum was changing too fast. SU would focus only on the exponential organizations growing or accelerating technologies that were riding on the back of Moore's law. Areas like infinite computing, sensors, networks, artificial intelligence, robotics, digital manufacturing, synthetic biology, digital medicine, and nanomaterials. By design and desire, our students would be the world's top entrepreneurs, as well as the executives from Fortune 500 companies. Our mission, to help people positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. The idea for SU came together at a founding conference hosted at NASA's Ames Research Center in Silicon Valley in September 2008. What I remember most clearly from the event was an impromptu speech given by Google co-founder Larry Page near the end of the first day. Standing before about 100 attendees, Page made an impassioned speech calling for this new university to focus on addressing the world's biggest problems. I now have a very simple metric I use. Are you working on something that can change the world? Yes or no? The answer for 99.99999% of people is no. I change the world. Obviously, technologies are the way to do that. That's what we've seen in the past. That's what's driven all the change. One of the individuals in the audience listening to Page was Salim, who had headed up Brickhouse, Yahoo's entrepreneurial incubator. He, too, was taken by that message, and within weeks he joined Singularity as the university's founding executive director. Salim, having run several startups before, navigated the usual crises that come with an early startup company, and played a crucial role in making SU the success it is today. But perhaps most important of all, Salim pulled together diverse thoughts and case studies taught at SU and wove them together into a division for a new kind of company, one that operated at 10 times the price performance of those just a decade ago. It was my pleasure to help frame the attributes, concepts, and practices exhibited by exponential organizations, and to join Salim, Yuri Van Geest, and Mike Malone in developing this book. Together, we have had the great fortune to study and understand how accelerating technologies are changing the course of the nations, industry, and all of humanity, and to manifest Salim's how-to guide for exponential executive. Some of the work described in the chapters ahead emerged from my own book, Abundance, The Future is Better Than You Think, co-authored with Stephen Kotler, as a framing of where we could all end up, but most of it applies to the companies of today and how we need to navigate there. Salim's co-authors also deserve recognition. First is Yuri van Geest, a Singularity University graduate and one of the world's leading experts in mobile, as well as a keen student of exponential technologies and trends. Yuri has a background in organizational design and has been materially involved since early on in this project. Second is veteran high technology journalist Mike Malone. Mike is not only a world-class technology reporter, but also the inventor of two influential organizational models that preceded this book: the Virtual Corporation with Bill David Dow and the Protein Tech Organization. Salim's vision of the exponential organization is a powerful one. Potent forces are emerging in the world: exponential technologies, the DIY innovator, crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, and the rising billion that will give us the power to solve many of the world's grandest challenges and the potential to meet the needs of every man, woman, and child over the next 2 or 3 decades. These same forces are now empowering smaller and smaller teams to do what was once only possible via governments and the largest corporations. 3 billion new minds will join the global economy over the next half dozen years. The relevance of this is twofold. First, these 3 billion people represent a new population of consumers who have never bought anything before. Consequently, they represent a long tail of tens of trillions of dollars of emerging buying power. If they are not your direct customers, fear not, they are likely your customers' customers. Second, this group, the rising billion, is a new entrepreneurial class powered with the latest generation of internet-delivered technologies, everything from Google and artificial intelligence to 3D printing and synthetic biology. As such, we will see an explosion in the rate of innovation as millions of new innovators begin to experiment and upload their products and services and launch new businesses. If you think the rate of innovation has been fast in recent years, let me be among the first to tell you, you haven't seen anything yet. Today, the only constant is change, and the rate of change is increasing. Your competition is no longer the multinational corporation overseas. It's how the guy or gal in Silicon Valley or Bandra, Mumbai, garage using the latest online technologies and tools to design and cloud print their latest innovation. But the question remains, how can you harness all of this creative power? How can you construct an enterprise that is quick, adept, and innovative as the people who will be part of it? How will you compete in this accelerated new world? How will you organize to scale? The answer is exponential organization. You won't have much choice because in many and soon most industries, that acceleration is already underway. Lately, I've begun to teach about what I call the 6 Ds: digitize, deceptive, disruptive, dematerialize, demonetize, and democratize. Any technology that becomes digitized, our first D, enters a period of deceptive growth. During the early period of exponentials, the doubling of small numbers, 0.01, 0.02, 0.04, and 0.08, all basically looks like 0. But once it hits the knee of the curve, you're only 10 doublings away from 1,000 times, 20 doublings you get to 1,000,000 times, and 30 doublings get you 1,000,000,000 times increase. Such a rapid rise describes the third D, disruptive. And as you shall see in the pages of this book, once a technology becomes disruptive, it dematerializes, which means that you no longer physically carry around a GPS, video camera, or flashlight. All of them have dematerialized as apps onto your smartphone. And once that happens, the product or service demonetizes. Thus, Uber is demonetizing taxi fleets, and Craigslist demonetizes classified ads, taking down a flock of newspapers in the process. The final step to all this is democratization. 30 years ago, if you wanted to reach 1 billion people, you needed to be a Coca-Cola or a GE with employees in 100 countries. Today, you could be a kid in a garage who uploads an app onto a few key platforms. Your ability to touch humanity has been democratized. What Salim and the team have observed from the front lines, and what you will come to understand as you read this book, is that no current commercial, governmental, or non-profit enterprise as currently configured can keep up with the pace that was set by these 6 Ds. To do so will require something radically new, a a new vision of organization that is technologically smart, adaptive, and encompassing, and not just of employees but of billions of people in vast social networks, as the new world in which it will operate and ultimately transform. That vision is the exponential organization. Peter Diamandis, founder and chairman of the X Prize Foundation, co-founder and executive chairman of Singularity University, Santa Monica, California, August 25, 2004.